All right, now we have Doja Cat here. Doja
Boo.
Cat went viral for admonishing the white crowd at her show by telling them that they have to edit themselves when the N word comes up. So she was recently at a show and she told white people to watch their mouths. What's the name of this show that she was performing? The
Oof.
name of the song is Ain't Shit.
Damn.
And I'm assuming that this song is about dudes who ain't shit. And
Damn.
apparently she uses the N word in the song. And
Uh,
at this show, she wanted to make it clear that the white people in attendance were not allowed to use the N word. They have to edit themselves, self edit. So here's a little context here, because of course we never put words in these people's mouths. We let them speak for themselves. So this says Doja Cat warns white people to watch their mouths during concert. Doja Cat is currently killing it on her Scarlet tour across the United States, which has brought us no shortage of great, wild, and notable moments. Most recently, she prefaced her performance of the track Ain't Shit with a bit of a warning to the Caucasian people in the crowd. Quote, watch your mouth if you're white. The rapper and singer expressed right before she broke into the chorus, which contains the use of the N word. Of course, this is notable given her own controversial experience with racism accusations, but nonetheless a cheeky way to address a prevailing issue with white people's consumption of hip hop in social settings. Furthermore, it's exactly the kind of aloof acknowledgement of it that we'd expect from Doja Cat. Her charisma and character on stage are quite infectious to witness, especially as her repertoire and range of performances increases. For example, promoters announced the Los Angeles native as a headliner for Portugal's Rock in Rio Lisbon Festival. With these and many more exciting shows down the line, we're sure that she will only continue to establish herself as a dominant stage presence and as a must see live act. So here is her going in on the white people in her audience, telling them not to use the N word. Very brief clip.
oh, that song sound trash, bro. Hey, I'm just being honest.
Oh, so there you go. Um, like that line too from how they said that. Let me read that again. Um, this is notable given her own controversial experience with racism accusations, but nonetheless a cheeky way to address a prevailing issue with white people's consumption of hip hop in social settings. Um, Interesting way to phrase that there. Um, but this went viral, obviously. So, what are your thoughts on Doja Cat telling the white people in the audience to watch their mouth?
So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this on in here as well, because she also gave an apology. All right, she said, "I'm so fucking sorry, New Jersey. I don't know what the fuck that was." She wrote on her Instagram story, "I'm really not happy with my energy tonight." All right, so she also followed it up with that, right? But at the same time, all right, at the same time, so Doja's mixed, right?
Yes.
So she's coming from both ethnic backgrounds. So that's kind of like a black card, if you will, to say anything you want about either race. If I was a mixed person, I would be growing up in a world where um, I'm mixed. Hi, black people. You ain't black enough. I'm mixed. Hi, white people. Whoa, you got too much Negro in you. So then you grow up in then you grow up in this weird purgatory of social norms where you don't even know where you fit as a person. Hence Doja Cat's entire personality. Just a just a confused human. So she can make a statement like that and then turn around and apologize. she can do the stuff that she did where she's making songs based off racial slurs towards black people and just, move the other way. She does her own little thing. So honestly, anything that Doja Cat does at this point, whether it's racist or sexist or anything, I will stick with racist, whether towards as black people or Caucasians, as that article stated. All right. If she's doing either one, I think you kind of have to give her a pass. Honestly, if I was a mixed person, I would be the most racist comedian ever. I would just be racist towards white people, racist towards black people, and it's well documented that I'm biracial. Like my name was Logic. I mean, well, I'm biracial, guys. So I can make jokes about white people. Haha. Hey, I'm biracial, guys. I can make jokes about black people. So for her to actually say something, don't say this white people, she's talking to her people. So I don't see if there were anybody that was up in arms or upset about this. I really don't see how they really could. But be that as it may, black people still get mad whenever she does something that's racially insensitive towards them as well. So, but I think she gets the mixed card. And honestly, if I was a mixed person, I'll be racially offending everybody. So I really don't see anything. I get her shtick now, and it's actually I'm starting to warm up to starting to laugh at it instead of being upset with her. Because what else is she supposed to do when she's grown up in this world that she wasn't accepted by either side? So if she tends to make some racially insensitive jokes to either side, whether they're Caucasian or African American, I don't want to say that she's entitled, but I definitely get where that energy is coming from. So, what about you, sir? How do you feel about Doja Cat? What are your thoughts on her telling her white constituents to not say the N word?
Yeah, my thoughts on that is good luck with that. Most of the biracial people I know culturally identify more as black.
Agreed.
In my experience, and I've known a lot of biracial people,
Hmm.
and most of them have I've always looked at them as black, and they've
Hmm.
always looked at themselves as black more than whatever else they are. I think generally speaking, most biracial people, unless they look more white than black, and most biracial people tend to look more ethnic than not, they are usually fit into the bucket of black, and
Agreed.
grow up identifying themselves that way. That's what I've seen.
Agreed.
Um, so I feel like Doja Cat, because what's that? What how going back to like Jim Crow? What was the rule? 1/8 of genetic material, and the government looked at you as black. So it didn't matter whether you were. It didn't matter. What you could be. I don't know how 1/8 breaks down in terms of a 100% scale, but you could have been whatever the rest of you is as a Caucasian, but that 1/8 is black. During the Jim Crow days, you were actually identified legally as a black person. So that's just a little, history behind that. But yeah, I think most biracial people in the modern day identify as black. I think the world looks at them as black. I think culturally they identify as black for the most part. And so I think Doja Cat, even though based on some of the interviews I've heard her do publicly, I've gotten the sense that at times she deals with a bit of an identity crisis issue
Yeah.
there, depending on the season.
Yes.
But for the most part, I think that she looks at herself as a black person for the most part.
Agreed. Agreed.
And because she looks at herself as a black person, she feels emboldened to carry the mantle, right? So she's gonna be up on stage and she's gonna be telling white people to wash their mouths with the N word, and whatever. If she wants to do that, that's fine. I just think that it's ridiculous. Good luck with that.
Right.
It ain't gonna work because, and this is one of the issues that I've had with the word and why I've stepped back from using it personally, because there's too much confusion around it. And I'm gonna use my basketball analogy again. Like, you can't, like, if I like basketball, right? The NBA cannot tell me that I can buy jerseys and buy tickets and go to games and buy shoes and buy all of this stuff, buy all of the paraphernalia. Like, it's okay for me to buy season tickets, but then turn around and you want to tell me that I can't actually purchase a basketball and go play basketball. Like, if you're telling me that I am well within my right to monetarily support something and be a part of it, I'm participating in the ecosystem through my fiscal support, I'm spending all this money, then you can't tell me that I can't actively participate. You can't. You cannot tell me that I am not allowed to be an active participant. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people disagree with that. I don't. I live in the world of practicality. I don't live in the world of rainbows and unicorns. In the world of practicality, when people are able to support something with their money, implicitly, they are also being told that they can actively participate. You can't separate the two. You can't tell someone you can't tell someone that they can spend their money, but they can't participate. You can't tell me that I can spend money, like, buying drinks at a restaurant, but then I can actually spend money to eat the food that the restaurant serves. Like, you can't separate the two. Like, in no world does that practically make sense. So all of these, what the hip hop industry has done through, they've made the N word a commodity that they sell in the music to people who aren't black. I mean, I'm not. This isn't an opinion. Like, that's a fact. I'm not giving you an opinion. That's a fact. They've commodified the word. They've made the word a product that they package in the music and sell to everybody. There's no label on the music that says only black people allowed to listen. It's sold as a product to everyone else. So you can look at this in through your rainbows and unicorns lens and say, well, in a perfect world, white people can listen, but they just need to be responsible enough to edit themselves. Okay, that's a very cute and rainbow and cuddly way to look at it. But in the real world, in the practical world, they're spending their money on this thing. They're listening to this music 24/7. That white kid is at the gym listening to NBA YoungBoy while he's working out. Okay, that white kid is listening to NLE Chopper while he's studying for his midterm. Okay, that white girl is listening to Megan Thee Stallion while she's doing her squats. These people are using the N word in all their music. What do you think they're doing while they're listening to it? Editing themselves in private? So this to me is silly. I get where Doja Cat is coming from. She tries to pick and choose the times in which she's going to be pro-black, and that's what most people do. They cherry pick. I'm not going to criticize her for that because I'm well past that. I don't even care about that stuff anymore. Really, it doesn't. I don't really care. So I get why she would say that, but practically speaking, it doesn't make sense. These people are buying this stuff, and if you want to look at any metric or number, white people are spending money on this stuff more than black people are. Especially if you factor in things like music festivals, like go to South by Southwest, go to Bonnaroo, go to Coachella. There's more people who aren't black at this stuff than black people, in part because of how expensive it is to go. So, like, you can't tell these people that they have to edit themselves. I think people like Doja Cat need to get used to the reality of the world, which is they're already using it. Ain't no use in getting mad about it. If you want white people to not use the N word when it comes to the songs, don't put the word in the songs. And if you still want to put the word in the songs, I don't know, put a label on it saying white people shouldn't be listening to this. I don't know. My point in saying all of this is there is no solution to this. So I think people need to get over it.
Yeah, I think like the N word for white people, in my opinion, it's like the red button you shouldn't push. And it's, hey, don't touch that button over there. They kind of get like, come on, bro. Like, it's such a fun word. Listen how you guys use it. You guys use it as a term of endearment. I'm just trying to use it like that. This is my nigga too. Excuse me, sir. Right? We'll be quick to jump. Right? What do you mean? This is your N word. But hey, man, let them have it. Personally, I don't give a damn. Especially if they're singing it in song. I really don't care then. So now I know that they're relishing in that moment. Whenever they can freely, if you will, use the N word. What? He said it. It's kind of like me, man. If I'm playing music out loud and, somebody's using derogatory terms towards women, they're just saying, I got bitches on Decker or whatever. If I'm around a woman and I'm retorting that, I don't say bitches. I'll mute. I will not say that. I'm not saying, yeah, I got bitches. So I'll be saying, I got on deck. What I got on deck? Who got what on deck? So I'm not gonna. It's kind of like a respect factor kind of thing. I feel like if there was white people hanging out with a whole bunch of white people at a Doja Cat concert, which 80-90% of them are, 95% of them are white. Don't tell him not to say this. He's sitting right next to his compadre. He wants to say it too, or she wants to say it too. Let him ring that thing out. You know. So me personally, I don't get so bent out of shape about the word. A word that can change your mood. You gave too much power to that word. So I don't care who calls me an N-word. It can be a black person, a white person, Chinese, Indian. If you want to slur me, I would be the fool if I got upset by that person using a word towards me. So I don't really get bent out of shape about it anymore. We've had conversations about this before where, we've talked about it, but I had to grow up and out of that. But I was raised in a world where you should be offended by that. You should be offended by that. You should be offended by that. It kind of does. It is like somebody calling me out of my name. But at the same time, that's the only amount of oomph I give it. So somebody can call me an N-word or a bitch or whatever. Like, it's the same level of, oh, you just tried to disrespect me, but you just tried to use a word to make me upset. So that's why I really don't care about the word anymore. And that's for anything, people. If there's something out there where it's invisible and the world tries to tell you to be upset about it, there's no immediate threat. There's nothing going on. Somebody used a word. Just let that run off your back like some water, man. It is not a big deal. So for Doja Cat, who is biracial, she can play these cards however she wants, do whatever she wants, and I can't be mad at this type of stuff anymore. So yeah, man, be that as it may, let them have at it. I don't mind. I thought it was funny. I laughed at it when I saw it. Just her just calling them out. Don't say this, but I think even her fans at this point know who she is, and it should be pretty much tongue in cheek. Everything that she does, everything is a shtick. There's nothing really serious about anything Doja Cat does, and that's why I was telling you when we was doing a rock video, let her run as president or at least VP. Not now. Yeah. But hey, in 30 whatever, let her run and do something, man. Because I'm starting to find her shtick hilarious because of how it rubs people the wrong way. She's just a troll, man. And so that was just another troll thing. And so for the internet to get up in arms about it, if they are, they fell right into her Doja Cat trap. So
yeah, I don't think the internet is up in arms, but the clip went viral because, it started this discussion around, that's why I read that last sentence, white people's consumption in social settings of, and it's like, look, man, y'all put the word in the songs, you put the word in the music, and then you sell it to people. What do you want? It's like, okay, I sell dope. I'm not gonna sell dope to somebody and then tell them, hey man, don't do those drugs. Like, how much sense does that make? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Practically speaking, it doesn't make any sense. And we're talking about the use of the word within the context of the music. And are there extremists and people who do wish ill intent when they do use the word? Fine, yeah. I don't think any of those people are at a Doja Cat show. And I think most of those people who are at that Doja Cat show, they're singing the song to themselves when they're not at the show. And if they're at the show and they're singing the song and they're not editing themselves, it is what it is. You put the word in your own music. There's no label on your album saying white. There's no disclaimer on any of Doja Cat's albums that says white people need to edit themselves when I say the N word. Or better yet, white people need to not listen to my music because I use the N word. Like,
Shit,
what is
never say
this?
that.
Right.
Never say
Like,
that.
hey, white people don't buy my stuff. I use the N word. Hey, white people don't use the N word. She ain't gonna risk that. She's not gonna risk alienating white people because that's alienating the bag. So I feel like we try to have our cake and eat it too when it comes to this thing. We want to be able to run roughshod on how ubiquitous the word is, but then get mad when people want to use it. Pick a side. People need to pick a side. If you don't want the word to be used by white people, don't put it in the songs. Don't put it in the songs. And because if you put it in the songs, that tells me you really don't care because you know you're selling the music to everybody. You're not just selling the music to black people. The music is for everybody. The second that this thing became a major genre, the second that it ceased to be a subgenre, in my opinion, you relinquished your right to be mad when people use the N word in music. You gave that up. You put it in the music. So people need to take a stand. I'm tired of this wishy-washy. We're going to get mad at this, even though we're the ones who are responsible for creating the environment for this type of stuff to persist. You're all over the place with this thing. You created this. If you don't like it that much, stop putting the word in the songs. She has that word all over the place in her music. So just live with this. Now, maybe she was being tongue in cheek and just trying to be funny, but I think she meant that shit. I think she meant part of it. She meant that. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like she was making a statement with that. She was doing the right thing. That's how she feels. But it's like, practically speaking, that don't make no sense. To me, it don't make no sense. But hey, good luck. If you want to be a SJW and tell white people not to use the N word, even though it's all in your music and the music is meant for everybody, white people included, I say good luck with that. That's pretty much all I can say.
Yep, and if I was biracial, I'll slur both sides. I use both my race cards and slur both sides, but I ain't say nothing because I belong to both. So shout out to Doja Cat for flexing her biracialness in order to use the slur that she always wanted to. And she's conveniently black when she wants to, and conveniently Caucasian when she wants to. It's a great thing. So instead of being mad at it, guys, let's just laugh at it and let people who are biracial have something of their own. Because white people got their own thing, black people got their own thing. Now we're having this new amalgamation of people called biracial and mixed and all this other stuff. Hey, we're in the melting pot, guys. So whenever there's this type of stuff going on, let those people have their thing and let them slur whatever side of the family they're from. And if they're Mexican and black, hey, go for the Mexican jokes. Hey man, if you're Asian and white, or hey, go for the Asian jokes. That's your special card. That one part about you that feels like you don't belong to either community, you actually belong to both. Slur both their ass. So whenever Doja Cat does her thing now, I let her have at it. She's black one week, she's white the next. Who gives a damn? It's all comedy in my book. So slur on, everybody. I'll be not slurring at home. I do not do that.
Yeah, I think this is it's just I think this is silly. Why are we still every time I'll be like, why are we still talking about this? Whenever black people get mad, I'll be like, why are we still mad about this? What are y'all mad about? Like, to me, in order for you to be upset when that happens, when a white people uses the word, it shows me that you don't even know where the feeling that they can use it comes from. Because if you knew where that came from, if you knew where that came about, you wouldn't be getting upset because you'd understand. I get it. And I just think we just pick and choose. We so wishy-washy with this stuff. It's funny. It's so funny. And we grant licenses to people to use it. Cause you got people like Cardi B saying it. Cardi B's not either black or like Cardi B's Dominican. She's 100% Latino. She can use it. No one gets mad at her for that. Why not?
Or Fat Joe.
Or Fat Joe. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Now I have noticed DJ Khaled doesn't say it anymore. And I think that's intentional. But when DJ Khaled first came out, he was
Couldn't
saying it
stand it.
all over the place. Ain't nobody say nothing. So
Palestinian.
yeah, y'all picking and choosing who's allowed to do this stuff, and it's weird. It's goofy to me. It really is.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, shouts out to Doja Cat.